Hey y'all, AB3 here. Before we get started with today's show, I just want to give you a couple of updates on the greatest hunting app that there is right now. Of course, I'm talking about the Onyx Hunt app. I have it. I don't go into the woods without it. Onyx Hunt, man, that application saved me so many times. I want to tell you about the wind and weather. We all know that plays a big part in what we do, how we decide to hunt, where we decide to hunt. And when you have the Onyx Hunt application, you can see hour by hour forecasts for wind speed and direction. Check it out for the next 8 days, any spot that you hunt on your map up to the next 8 days. That means you can plan ahead, kind of like how they said in the AT movie, plan ahead, amigo. You can do that when you got the Onyx Hunt app. Weather updates coming from 100,000 weather stations, refreshed every 15 minutes. Large, intuitive visuals make it easier for hunters to identify weather patterns, make those in-moment decisions, switch it up, kill those big deer, kill those big elk, get after those ducks and geese, making quick on-the-spot decisions, man, to help you be successful. Trim tracks, man. If you got the trim tracks, you can easily get to and from your stand. Sometimes you forget to turn your trim tracker off. Now with the trim tracks, you can trim those extra steps, get it down to a precise, direct route in and out of your hunt area. Onyx Hunt, know where you stand. Make sure if you don't have it for your Android or your iPhone, it is available. You can also use it on your browser. Web maps are available. Whatever you choose to use, just make sure you're using Onyx Hunt.
From Stone Mountain, Georgia, this is the Bryant Land Show. Hosted by proud Gamecock and South Carolinian AB3.
Hopefully, as you're listening to this podcast on a Monday, you are relaxing. You are not working because it is MLK Day, the MLK holiday. I know, though, there are those of you that have to work and that are on your grind, but hopefully the Bryant Land Show is in your ear, bringing you some form of entertainment and education on this MLK Day Monday. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone is healthy and safe. Thank you for taking the time to join me for another Bryant Land Show. Want to send a quick shout out and thank you to the folks from Onyx Hunt. They are sponsoring the podcast. Also, folks from Traeger Grills and Irish Setter Boots. Make sure you are checking out the sponsors that's sponsoring us. Also, hopefully you are listening to this podcast on our website, bryantlandcountry.com. If not, when you finish listening to the podcast, make sure you go run over and check out everything that we got going on at Bryantland Country. Got bryantlandcountry.com. Got to enunciate, say things clearly so you folks know what we got going on around here. Great show today. Of course, we have a great show every Monday, to let me tell it. But I'm really excited to share the guest that I have today for y'all. I was thumbing through the GON magazine, Georgia Outdoor News, and I came across a fella who had an article written about him and his family, Jimal McBride. Jimal is a hunter specializing in coon dogs and coon hunting. And if you know anything about the history of this podcast, I've admired from afar folks that trap and kill coons. I've admired from way, way afar folks that can cook and eat coon. But we get into all of that, Jamel and I. You're going to enjoy it. I really enjoyed having this young man on my show. So without further ado, I'm going to fall back. You guys take a listen to my conversation with Jamel McBride here on the Bryant Land Show.
Bryant Land.
The power of print and social media together has brought me to Jamel McBride from the McBride family clan in South Georgia. Bro, thank you for taking the time to join me on the Bryant Land Show. What's going on in South Georgia today, man?
And going on South Georgia, good weather down here in South Georgia, thank God. First and foremost, waiting on that dart to come drop these dogs in these bushes.
Y'all going tonight?
Oh yeah, we're going tonight.
Man, so y'all go every night?
Yeah, typically I hunt about 6 to probably 7 nights. I try to take a night off, but typically it's about 5 to 6 nights a week.
Good night. And just straight, like during this time of the year, I would say it's just coons.
Just coons. Strictly coons.
Okay. How long? So, okay, you going tonight. What time do y'all usually start? Y'all just, like get out there obviously before it dark set in, or y'all wait late? Like what's the ideal time to get on them coons?
Ideal time, we probably wait about an hour after dark, let them get down and walk a little bit. And we try to go early during the week, so because you got to work the next morning. But on the weekends, we'll start about 8:39, and we'll hunt about whenever.
Wow, that is bananas. How many dogs you running?
We got different. See, I got 3 dogs. My uncle got dogs, and my cousin got dogs. We usually hunt two or three at a time, but that's about it.
Okay. Now let's back up because I was flipping through the GON magazine and I saw the article by Craig James. Shout out to Craig James for getting y'all in the GON, telling y'all story, from that route. But the headline just jumped off the page and it snatched me. It's like 100 years of South Georgia family coon hunting. And I'm flipping through the article and I see people that look like me. And I'm like, oh, snap. Like 100 years, we know that obviously our hunting tradition as African Americans, as black people, go way, 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 way back. A lot of times the best hunters were the guides that were out there with the slave masters and stuff, if you want to take it all the way back that far. My thing is, these stories and this kind of history doesn't get told every day. And just to see something like that jumping off the page, that's why I had to make sure I could try to reach out and talk to you and get you on the show. 100 years, bro. Like, how did it start? Obviously, it started out of necessity and it just kept going and going and going.
It started out my granddaddy, just doing it for food, put food on the table. That's what it started out doing. And my uncle and them, as they raised up, they went, but they were scared of the dark. As the article say, everything he says is truthful in the article.
Yeah.
So that's how it started. But man, my granddaddy, he was in the army, and he came back. He settled down there in Pierce County, and that's how it went.
Man, and when you say out of necessity for food, I think that's something that gets lost a lot of times in just the history and in the modern day outdoor industry, because nowadays so much of it is for sport, so much of it is for fun. Like, I'll admit, I'm a late onset hunter. I didn't start hunting until 38, and I'm doing it for fun. I love to eat what I kill. I love what I killed. I love how it tastes, but it's not like, oh, if I don't kill 6 deer, then me and my kids gonna go hungry. You talking about a whole different type of motivation when you doing it to feed your family and put food on the table.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, I got a big family, Shoot, I think it's about 6 or 7 uncles and two aunts. So it was a big family, so they had to do a lot to provide for
Man, just like you say, you gotta do what you gotta do.
them.
So fast forward to now, you got the tradition. It's in your blood, obviously. How old were you when you actually started hunting and put boots to the ground?
I started typically about 5 or 6 when I first started like squirrel hunting, but I didn't go coon hunting until I was about 7.
I just can't imagine 7 years old running through them swamps in South Georgia, man. That you must be have all kinds of like memories and stories from that.
Yeah, I got plenty of 'em, man. One thing I know, yeah, when I was coming up, man, I didn't want to be in the back of the line because, man, it feel like something right there looking at you. I made sure of that I stayed in the middle. That's what I did. I made sure I stay in the middle because you didn't want to be at that back.
Now, when you started at 7, were you the youngest? Were you a middle child? Are you an only child? Or
I'm the youngest.
oh wow,
Yeah, I'm the youngest. So, my brother, he was more of a bass fisherman, but he didn't like the dark. So I had other older cousin. Now he like coon hunting, and he went with us. But like I say, he always used to try to put me in the back. But hey, I had to fight to get in that middle.
I was about to say you had to fight for everything that you got. Whatever that old color purple line, to fight for everything I got. All
Everything.
my life I had to fight.
Uh,
Man, I understand that. But so you start at 7, coon hunting, or we'll start earlier than that, shooting squirrels and stuff like that. But were you into anything else? Like you said, you had, a cousin that was into bass fishing, other cousins that was into this and that. Like, were you into any other kinds of hunting? Like, was it just like strictly running the dogs and cool hunting?
oh, I was in squirrel hunting. I did a little bit of hunting, but it didn't excite me like that. Coon just listen to them dogs running. And you know what I'm saying? And you get down there, you see that coon up that tree, then you possibly gonna see a coon fight. That ain't the good thing, but man, that excited me back then.
Well, see, that brings me to another point because obviously I've never been a part of running coons with dogs. Now, I've done it with hogs, and
Hmm.
I've seen the damage that hogs can do, to a dog and how it happens so quickly. I mean, like, I remember on the hunt I went on, the dogs, they were getting after this one hog, got her, or got him, like bait or whatever. And I'm looking at this whole thing happen, trying to wait for an opportunity for a good shot or whatever, and
Hmm.
not realizing that like the whole time while I'm kind of waiting for a good shot, these dogs are getting cut up by this boy. Like, so when everything was over with and we make the kill, get the hog down, get the dogs back to the camp, they got little cuts, above their eye, little cuts here and there. I mean, like with the hogs, they got like the vest and stuff on. But my point is, like with coons and them claws and stuff like that, like they actually like get down and be fighting and scrapping and stuff with the dogs.
Oh yeah, they do it real good too. A lot of people, I tell them about about a coon fight. They say, man, that ain't fair. They just say it ain't fair for have two dogs on one coon, but You got to think that coon got 4 legs and teeth. And man, my uncle done told me before, they done had coon drown a dog. You know,
Oh
so
wow.
yeah, you get them in that water, that coon will get on top of that dog head and just drown.
Wow. See, I ain't even think about that. I'm just thinking about like them little paws just flying and cutting them up all in the face and all kind of stuff, and them dogs trying to, grab
Yeah,
hold to them, or y'all trying to dispose them before they do too much damage to the dogs. But golly, that's bananas,
yeah, but that coon don't fight fair.
man. So, want to jump back real quick. You were saying the whole excitement of coon hunting and running dogs with coons. I guess it would be kind of like I won't say difficult, but just not as exciting when you talking about running through the woods and through the swamps and stuff, running coons, and then go sit in a deer stand or sit in a turkey blind and kind of just waiting for a deer to pass by, or waiting for an old gobbler to come through chasing after a hen or hitting one of the decoys or whatever. I guess don't quite carry the same excitement.
No, not for me. Because one thing, you see, you ain't got to be quiet with this that coon hunt, man. You can sit out there. We sit out there. We laugh and cut up, have a good time. Everybody talking trash about might be talking trash about a dog, and you know what I'm saying, just having fun, man, making memories. You can't really do that. You can make memories and all hunting, but it's different when you can talk to somebody instead of being quiet.
No, I can see that because it's funny. I used to hunt with a guy up in Illinois, Brian Griffin. I used to hunt with him, and we would talk about it. We goose hunt, and we would, get into the same conversation. He would just be like, deer hunting ain't for me, just because, sitting in a pit waiting for the geese to come in. You sitting there on a cold, ice cold morning. You got coffee. You might have some breakfast going. You like you say, you just sitting there. You cutting up. Next thing you know, some geese come into your spread. Pop, 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 pop. Drop a couple of geese, and then you just get back to shooting shit and talking. Whereas like with deer or turkey, like you said, with sports or with hunts that you gotta be, real silent. It's just a lot of nonverbal communication, not a lot of opportunity just to be cutting up, especially if you're trying to kill something.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What about fishing for you? Like, do you get out there on the water with the bass fishing with your cuz?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. See, yeah, I do that bass fishing. I love that. And I usually do that in the spring. And my dad, man, he was an avid bass fisherman, man. But he kind of done got to that saltwater fishing, catching white and all the time now.
Well, that's the thing about being down where y'all are at. We was talking before. Y'all got it all down there. If you're not far from the oh, you just said too. Which swamp?
Okefenokee.
Okefenokee, yeah. So you down way down yonder. Down
Hmm.
there, y'all got it all, man. So it ain't no telling what you can get into.
Yeah, you can get in a pretty good amount of things.
You fool with them gators?
No, 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 no. I don't mess with them.
He said that quick.
No, sir. I leave them where they at.
Man, that's something I'm curious about trying, but I don't know. Like my rule of thumb is funny because even with bow hunting and bow hunting deer, hogs, I bow hunted turkeys or whatever, people like, oh, you should get after bears, or you should go like for out west to do a mountain lion. My rule of
Mhm.
thumb so far has been I ain't hunting nothing that's been trained. It's ingrained in their DNA to hunt and kill their whole life. Like that's
Right.
that's a little bit different kind of a fight right there. That they got a little bit more advantage, I would think. Not saying that deer and hog and turkeys don't, because they got that survival gene. But it's one thing to to have that what is it, fight or flight, and then mostly flight to survive. But then when you talking about bears and big cats and stuff like that, it's more fight than flight in them.
That's right. You right. No sir.
So I don't know about that.
Nah, I'm gonna let that one ride there.
So let's get back to the coons, because here's what I want to know. Again, going through reading the article, something that jumped out to me. If you starting out from scratch, say you starting out ground zero, whatever age, whatever, and you decide you want a coon hunt, and you get a coon dog. The thing that jumped out to me, it says start out with a puppy as opposed to an older dog. Why?
Well, that puppy, so that puppy will get to know you, you know. But that's my uncle way of thinking. See what I'm saying? So I believe I understand. So that puppy will know you, and you'll know that puppy. And first of all, when you pick that puppy, you know you like that puppy.
Mm-hmm.
So you gonna want to put time into that. And opposed to you getting an older dog that already set in his ways, you don't know what his faults may be, his characteristics. You don't know if he like you.
He might not even want to do what you want him to do, huh?
I'm trying to tell you, you don't never know. Them people just, when you get in the coon home world, it's a lot of people that's trying to get your money. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so, I'd rather train my own than go buy somebody else dog that they don't train. I don't know how they train. You know understand?
Wow. And that's just a skill that you learn from watching your uncles and stuff, like coming up, just how to train a coon dog.
Yes, that's how it is.
Man, that's crazy. Cause you're right. There are places and people, and no slight against them. I'm pretty sure they do a good job, and you can buy a dog and take it to them and say, hey, I want to train this dog to do whatever, whether it's, waterfowl, running hogs, running coons, rabbits, whatever. But it's got to be something said where you have that skill set yourself and you can work and take time and put in the time with that animal.
That's right. That's most definitely. You got to have the time for it.
What do you do? Like I've seen waterfowl dogs get trained, like with, rubber duckies or different kind of like, different kind of like tools or gadgets or, chew toys or whatever the case is to like train them. Like, what do you go through when you training a coon dog?
First of all, when I first get one, it'll probably be about 6 to 8 weeks old. And what I work on is getting used to me, understanding me, getting them to come. I work on basic commands. Yeah, probably about 2.5 months, I start putting a scent, working with a scent at night. I stay away from the daytime stuff. And that's one thing people go wrong working with dogs in the daytime. Nothing wrong with it, but that ain't my way. I was trained to work with to train a coon dog.
I can see that though, because if you running them at night, then you got to get them adjusted to seeing at night, running in the dark, running through briars, like all that kind of stuff. I could see that. But here's one thing I want to know though. But when you say, get them adjusted like to the scent and stuff, are you like just putting it like on a rag and like just letting them smell it, or like what are you doing with that?
What I do is I put them on I usually I have like right now I'm training a puppy right now, and man, the more coons I get, the better it is for him. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I keep a fresh coon hide. So that's important right there, fresh coon hide.
Oh, so you skin them, keep the hide, and then just kind of let them just roll around, just get all into it, just immersed into it, so they The smell, touch, all that.
Yeah, I just let him smell it. And if he get past, I see that he know the coon is, when I just, keep working with him, then I probably just, when I get a fresh ride, I drag it. But I never walk in them tracks. You see what I'm saying? I drag it somewhere, I put it on a rope or a fishing pole,
Mm-hmm.
and I throw it, and I drag it. And I'm fortunate enough to be around the pond, so I might even go in the water with it, just to see what the puppy gonna do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you said
So
don't walk in the tracks because you don't want to mix the scents or whatever, right?
I don't want me personally, I don't want them tracking me.
Gotcha.
You don't need to track me. You need to be worried about that coon.
Right. Right.
Nah. Man, them dogs smart, man.
And what kind of dogs are you using for coon hunting? Because like I've read some things before where I know it comes down to like preference, but I've even read where some people like, well, this hound is better than this, or this dog is better than, whatever, like whatever their preference is. What are you using, and is that something that everybody in the family is using, or everybody got just different type of dogs based on their preference?
Everybody pretty much got different type of dogs, but I'm using trim walkers. And my uncle got a blue tick, two walkers.
Mm-hmm.
My other uncle got a black and tan and walkers. And my cousin, he wanted to be so different. He went and got American them leopard hounds.
Why?
So
Wait a minute. Why you said it with such disdain, though?
he,
He was
he
like, your uncle got, this one. My other uncle, he got a blue hound. I got this. But my cousin, he just had to be different.
because and
Like he
he
just
he
went outside, went completely out the box, huh?
yeah, he just went out the box. He wasn't trying to stick to the script or nothing. He said, "Man, I'm finna try these, and I'm gonna make my name off these." I said, "Okay,
How's it working for him?
it's coming good, But they just they different hounds. They
Yeah.
look good. Now they some pretty dogs, but that's his cup of tea.
Now that was another thing, which I could kind of understand, in such a big family like y'all got, you want to try to, stand out. There's something to be said for going with what works and, like you say, following the script. But then, you always gonna have that one that's just like, look, I want to make a name for myself. I'm gonna carry the family name, but I also want to have, my own identity and my own name. There's something to be said for that. But one of the things that I did see that also jumped out at me, I think it was either you or your uncle that was saying like get a dog that you like to look at.
hmm
How does that play into the equation?
That plays in. That go back to what I was saying. If you like the dog, you know what I'm saying. You look at that dog every day. You got to feed that dog, water that dog pretty much every day, and you gonna hunt that dog every day. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like looking at them,
Yeah,
you wasting your time.
I got you. Always. So you want basically, if you like looking at them, you develop a bond, develop a relationship with that puppy. Then it's gonna go a long way. Then when you got a dog, it's just like, oh, I got to go out here and train this dog. Oh, I got to get this dog up to speed. Like more, more of like an apple of your eye kind of thing, as
Yep,
opposed to disdain.
yep. You're right. You're right about that.
Gotcha, gotcha. So now you training, going through the exercises, you training the dog up. How long does it take before you feel comfortable in turning the dog loose?
Uh, it, it ain't about me feeling comfortable about that dog.
Okay.
The dog, you know, I try to let the dogs get their legs up on them. I don't usually take them to the woods at least about 6 months. At about 6 months, that's when I see do they want to go.
Hmm.
I ain't gonna force the issue. I'm gonna let genetics come out. So that's one thing we know. We work on that. We know the line of dogs that we hunting, and we know when they usually start clicking.
Now, is that something where you can tell, like, you go out, you get to the woods, you drop the tailgate, one dog that may be ready, they like, all right, I know what time it is, let's go. They hopping off the tailgate, and they just all in the woods, like, where you at, let me at them. Whereas another dog that might not be ready, is he a little bit timid? Like, do you kind of have to lift him out of the box and put him on the ground and see if he gonna run, or see if he just gonna be like timid and kind of not leave your side?
Well, it's more of when you turn them dogs loose, he'll go out there a little piece and play around instead of keeping going with them dogs.
Mm, okay, okay, okay. Because I saw, and I thought that was interesting as well. And I've seen it with, hog dogs, and I've heard guys talk about it with rabbit dogs. It's like you take, obviously you got your stud, your older dog that's out there running, know what to do, following commands, everything. And then you got a younger dog that's kind of like right up under them. It's almost like sitting under the learning tree. Like they
Hmm.
following behind that dog and basically just learning from the dog that's ahead of them.
Oh yeah. Hmm. That's right. You what you say?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. Well, we do is just like you were saying. I got a she just turned 10 months old this week, and she she been going since she was about 7.5 months old.
That's amazing to me. They're so, like, even when you think about it, like obviously like in the human time frame. I know dog years is completely different, but when you think about it in the human time frame, you're talking about 6 to 8 weeks and then 7 months. 6 to 8 weeks, young puppy, getting on their feet, they're learning this skill, and then in 7 months, you turning them loose and they running behind another dog and just kind of learning, and then the next thing you know, they out there fighting and scrapping and got dogs, got coons up the tree. Man, that's got to be a rewarding process.
Oh yeah, most definitely, most definitely. That's just showing you. That goes to the dog genetics, and plus you putting the time in. To see your work starting to pay off, man. It'll put a smile on your face.
And then I know you say you hunting every night, so you training every day too. Is it no days off kind of mentality?
Yeah, it's kind of like that, but sometimes I don't try to push the puppy too hard. You know what I'm saying? Because you can burn them out. So I just really go by. I let them play. I'll take him out in the daytime, and I let him run around. Get his exercise pretty
Hmm.
much every day.
Wow. Now, speaking of a no days off mentality, you at one point was wrecking shop at Middle Tennessee State on the D line, messing up run game schemes, messing up passing schemes and stuff, just out there wrecking havoc in the, let me make sure I don't mess this up now. In the Sun Belt, when you were at MTSU, Middle Tennessee State, they were still in the Sun Belt?
Nah, they had just switched over to the Conference USA.
I knew it was either the Belt or Conference USA. Dang it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So at know, defense, playing ball, Conference USA school, Middle Tennessee State up in Murfreesboro. I've been up there a few times. A lot of good hunting in
Mm.
Tennessee. How did the
Mhm.
coon hunting work? Was you able to get on some coons? Now, let's just put this in perspective, because you're a D1 athlete. You
Mhm.
got class, you got weights, film study, game prep, all that good stuff. Was you still able to get out and do any kind of hunting, or do any kind of coon hunting?
Not when I was up there, but when I came home, I still, that was the first thing I probably did when I come home. I,
drop
I,
drop the bags and go get the headlamp, huh?
that's right. Let's go. Let's do
Nothing wrong with that, man.
it.
Hey, because I can't imagine. I see regular students in college and high school, mostly duck hunters. I was always fascinated by the one or two guys that you see in the rare occasions in college when I had, because I was a 7 a.m., 8 a.m., like early class guy, because I wanted to get my stuff over with so I had the rest of the day. But rarely I would have the 11 or 12, and you'd see the duck hunters coming in, still either with partial of their gear on or whatever, or partial face paint. You could tell they was out duck hunting. I just always marveled at the commitment to get up that early, go do that, and then go to class. So I can't imagine, what it would be like for, a D1 student athlete to try to keep that going. But it's amazing. Yeah. It's remarkable. But I could definitely see, like you say, you get that break, and once you're done, it's like, all right, I'm coming home, and we in the swamp.
Yes, it just helped me relax, man. Just hearing them dogs, seeing them dogs work. That's all that mattered to me.
And getting away from everything.
Yep, getting away.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, working in media and working around a lot of college athletes, I see the stuff that y'all go through, and people be like, well, they're getting a scholarship, and just like, if you knew what I knew. But that's another topic for another day. I ain't gonna go down that road, but you know what I'm saying.
I most definitely.
It's like, but they get a scholarship. Why can't it? Okay, settle down, Junior. If you
don't know the hand.
Right, if you knew what I knew. All right, so here's the thing, right? I've been doing this podcast. This is my third year, starting this January. This is my third year doing the podcast. And I've had a couple of people on that coon hunt coon hunt and cook coon, or they will happily take coons and cook them. As a woman told me one day when I was in the gas station and I still had my camo on and I was coming back from deer hunting, she was like, well, do you trap any coons? And I was like, no. She's like, well, if you do, let me know, because I'll cook them. And I'm just like, all right, yeah, I got you. No problem. Dude, like I said, I'm a newbie. I still consider myself a newbie. I mean, 5 years in compared to, people with lifetimes experience, I'm getting a little bit better with the deer hunting because that's my thing. So, I'm getting more experience. But, bro, I'm going to tell you off top. Coons, as far as like cooking and trying them and eating them, I still don't know about that. And that's been a thing on this podcast. The few people that I've talked to, every one of them have told me they can make a coon taste like barbecue hog.
Hey.
True, false, or they don't know what the hell they talking about?
Oh, it's true. Most definitely true. I'm telling you.
I had a feeling you were gonna say that.
Hey, I give it to my daddy now. Hey, he'll make one. He'll make one stolen up right now. It was so good. My uncle took a piece to work. This man never ate a coon before. He took a piece. He ain't have but one little piece, just enough to give to him. He said the man told him, I never thought a coon would taste like that. He never thought a coon would taste that good.
The stories that I've heard from different people, they was like I've heard the one where they took like the shredded pork and had like a pan of shredded pork and a pan of shredded coon. And like, just let the person taste them. And the person thought that they was like, both of them was shredded pork, and it was just like, no, that's coon. And I'm just like, I guess it's one of those things, obviously, you don't knock it till you try it. And I know everybody say, because it's just like with deer meat. Like, I've had people say, like, well, I don't like deer meat, or it's too gamey, and da-da-da-da-da. And My thing is whoever cooked it either didn't cook it right or they just didn't. I won't say they didn't know what they was doing, but they just didn't cook it like a certain way. Because to me, when I cook deer and the deer that I've had, it tastes like deer, but shit, it's good to me. Like it's not like hard and gamey and tough or whatever. Like if you don't cook it right or you live it on the grill too long, then you end up with jerky. But it's all in how you cook it. I guess my point is what's the go-to recipe? Like, is it, roasted with sweet potatoes? Is it shredded, like barbecue? What are the McBrides doing when they do their coons?
We'll quarter it up like you do some chicken or a deer,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll just get the game out of it. And we'll musk it. That's the main thing. People go wrong. They don't musk their coons.
Explain that. I know exactly what you're talking about because I've heard people say that about hogs as well. But explain to the listeners what that is.
It's a musk gun. It's like a ball. It kind of feel like a small kidney ball that'll be in his armpits and his hind quarters in the inside and then on his neck. If you pay attention and you just pull them out, man, and you just shoot, man. That coon good eating. I'm trying to tell you. and I'm a picky eater now. So.
The musk glands that I could definitely see, obviously that making a difference. And I didn't even know about that until I was watching a fella skin and quarter a hog, and he was just and he took him out, and he was like, I bet you ain't never seen nothing like that. I was just like, no, I haven't seen anything like that. He was like, if you take these out, it's gonna taste much better. I was like, all right, learn something new every day. So as soon as I saw that, I knew exactly what you were talking about. But like you said, going back to being a picky eater, and do you prefer yourself, like after it's quartered and stuff like that, do you prefer barbecue, like shredded, or like whole, like with the hind and leg quarters? I mean, I guess it's a crazy question, but what's your favorite part of the coon?
Oh, I love them ribs.
Wow.
I love the ribs.
Coon ribs. That's, once again, you learn something every day. I learn something every day, man. I learn almost every time I talk to somebody, I learn something new, man. It's one of the reasons why I like doing this podcast. It's just coon ribs. Okay. Baby back? I mean, because obviously a coon ain't that big. Because you talking about a good coon.
Mm-hmm.
What, 60 pounds?
Pretty much, if not 10. On average.
Okay.
Around this way. Now, you get you one about 15, 16 pounds now. That's grown from this area. Right.
Okay. Okay. And then gutted, skin, quartered, probably what, about 8 after that?
Yeah, if that.
If that. Okay. Wow. And then are you a barbecue or a hot sauce guy?
I'm a barbecue, but with we like to put like, what is it, paprika?
Yeah, the pepper. Yep.
We'll spice it up. It's gonna be kind of barbecue. My daddy do it all kind of ways, man. He'll stew it, he'll fry it.
Wow,
man, that's good.
Man, and then if y'all hunting every night, boy, y'all got to have a freezer full of coon.
Yeah, we got a good little thing good. And you got people that want you to come kill their coons off their corn,
Oh
after
yeah.
this season, so
that was my thing. I said that I was gonna start trapping coons, and I still hadn't gotten away from that. I just haven't had the time to do it yet. But I said after deer season, I was gonna set a couple of coon traps and try to trap some coons that way to keep them off of my corn piles. And then the other thing too, I think a lot of people don't realize, man, coons are hell on turkeys on this.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
So, if you're trying to have a decent population to hunt turkeys and stuff, you got to, coons are almost as just as bad as coyotes
Huh.
when it comes to them turkey nests. Because they'll get in there and ravage and with the eggs and stuff. And then of course, if the hens, they trying to defend their nest and won't get up, the coon will kill a hen in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to get them under control. But if y'all out there putting a hurting on them down there in South Georgia with them dogs, then that's a whole different story.
Yeah. There's one thing about it, though. You ain't gonna get one there at night. That's the
Huh.
one thing about it.
Now that's interesting because I would thought when you add the dogs to the equation that with the scent and stuff, it'd make it a lot harder for them to get away, and you just get on them.
Nah, one thing about it, because when you running them dogs, see that coon he gonna try to save his butt, so he gonna go through deep water. He gonna take him through the thick and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because he already know the layout of the land. He
Okay.
know how to get away. So sometimes you tree at a big old tree, pine tree.
Mm-hmm.
Them jokers ain't gonna look. They'll look straight up at the moon or something, or they'll tree in a hole in the tree, what we call a holler. And man, they got their ways to get away. You just got to stop them before they do that.
Wow. See, I didn't even think about that because I always think, you dog, and they get on the trail, they get after them, get them up the tree. You run them up the
Mm-hmm.
tree, you come in, finish them off with 22 or whatever, and, pop them down from the sky and they fall from the ground. If the shot don't kill them, then damn, the drop will.
Yeah.
But dang, you talking about all in the water and like
Oh
that.
yeah.
So now, have you seen where they kind of lead them, like they're trying to get away, they go in the water, and then they and like you were saying, like they ambush them and then try to drown the dog?
Mm, I done seen them like, especially on that what it was like a marsh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I done heard the story from my uncle though, and they dog ran the coon down on the marsh because he hunted Savannah boy Richmond Hill. And they got them out there on that marsh, and that tide done come up, and they was fighting the coon. They
Mm-hmm.
caught on the ground, and that's how the coon, when they got down there, they knew something wasn't right. They got down there, they seen the coon on top of the dog head.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yikes. Yeah.
yeah.
And if you a dog, ain't no way to get that bug off of you. Especially
No,
if they got their claw, they got them little paws fucking dug
yeah.
in.
And
Oh
my uncle ain't
man.
want to shoot him. He didn't want to shoot because he shot his dog.
Right.
He took that
Golly.
stuff.
Man. So, okay. That's another one. See, I'm thinking you got the dogs after them, and then you get them up that tree, pop them, and it's a good night for all involved. But see, I learned something new. I get again. That's why they call it hunting, because every
Yeah,
time you go out, ain't no guarantee that you gonna come back. Full. You might come there. A lot of times you're gonna come back empty-handed.
yeah, you're right.
So now, before I get you out of here, one of the other things that we was talking about that I found very interesting, and I really hope and pray that you can, continue to work through it and bring it to fruition. You was talking about starting a brand.
Hmm.
Would a brand be encompassing everything outdoors, or like basically like focusing on coon hunting?
The brand I got in the woodworks right now, it's gonna do everything with dog hunting. Cause man, I ain't knocking those still hunters, but it's kind of hard for us dog hunters right now, as far as land wise.
Yeah.
A lot of land don't open up to like what the 10th of yesterday. So now a lot more land finna open up for us. But far as like, I'm gonna build a brand just people that run dogs and go with that.
You got a name for it?
Yeah, I'm gonna call it Doggy Style Outdoors.
Nice. Nice.
DSA.
Nice. Man, I like that, and I wish you all the luck in the world with it, man. You got the history and the heritage behind it. You definitely got the knowledge, man. So I appreciate you taking the time for me today to come on the show. Good luck with the brand and the family and everything, man. You got any kind of social media or anything where folks can catch up with you and follow you and see what you got going on?
Oh yeah, you can follow me on Facebook, Jimal McBride. You can follow the hunting page at McBride's Kennel. That's it with that one.
Nice, nice. Well, I'm gonna make sure I get on there and hit like and subscribe and all that stuff. Jimal, man, it's been a pleasure. Again, thank you for taking your time, bro, and come back anytime.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Hope we get you down here and you go coon hunting with us.
Man, don't say that, cause I bring the Mossberg. I'm all for carrying my own weight. I might not know what the hell I'm doing, but I'm all for carrying my own weight now. So I got some waiters and I got my Mossberg. So
let's do it. Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
Man, we're offline about that. We got to figure something out because I've never done it before, and I'll try just about anything once. So you get me in them South Georgia swamps. We'll see.
All right.
All right. I appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
All right. Man, I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. Learned a lot talking to Jimal. Learned a lot about his family. 100 years of coon hunting, man, is just remarkable just to have that much tradition passed down from generation to generation, man. Just raising dogs, hunting coons, living off the land, just having a good time down there in South Georgia. Hopefully, not before long, I will be able to get down there and hang out with Jimal and his family. Maybe even try some coon this year. 2021, new year, trying new things, expanding, growing, all that good stuff. You never know, your boy AB3 might get not only his coon hunting on, but maybe get some coon in my belly as well. I don't know. We'll see. You never know. Nevertheless, man, this has been a great Monday, an MLK Monday. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast as much as I enjoyed doing it. You know where to find all of our past podcasts, BryantLandCountry.com, our website. Make sure you check that out and continue to tell 5 more people about our podcast, man. Like I said, we still got to expand. We still got to growing the brand. And make sure you guys come back next week for another episode of The Bryant Land Show.